pre-show before the free show.
We're back.
We've never been more back.
It's the most back we've been in like months. No.
That's honestly fair.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I would say so.
Snow got in the way of that a little bit.
Welcome on the pre-show before the free show. And so a lot's happened since we last had a show. And many of you may be tuning in because you want to hear about our thoughts on the inauguration.
I don't think anybody wants to hear that.
Oh, okay. That's not okay. Never mind. Table that. We won't do that. Many of you may be tuning in because you want to hear our thoughts on the college football playoff national championship game.
Pretty fun.
Between Ohio State and Notre Dame. Still others of you may be tuning in for an Ashley Pickle wedding post-game show. And I am here to tell you, you will get that, but that is coming at the end of the show.
I was honored that it made the cut of having its own segment and not being a pre-show topic. That's big doings by you.
It's big doings. I mean,
subtle nod.
This is the first time we've been able to talk about a TFT wedding.
This is true.
So it's important. And furthermore, the real reason that we're scheduling it like this
is so that Grev can be here.
Bingo, bango.
Okay, so this is weird, now husband did text and was like, are y'all talking about it in the pre-show? And I said, no. Got its own segment.
Whole ass segment.
And he was like, oh, that's big time. And I said, honestly, I think it's because the man of the hour was Greg Powers.
Absolutely true.
Not Brian.
Absolutely true.
But Greg Powers, so he needed to be here for it.
Yeah, so I want to make sure that we get a fair and balanced report on the Pickle wedding, which is why Greg Powers will be here after This Week in Recruiting and stuff like that. But I do want to talk a little bit about where you were. I want to just make sure I understand this, okay? You guys didn't go on a honeymoon. You went on like a mini moon because you're going to do the real honeymoon later, right?
Yes, real honeymoon will be this summer.
Okay.
I am far too exhausted from football season straight into holidays and wedding to even fathom taking a big trip.
Right, but your husband, Brian, scheduled a mini moon.
Correct. Just to get out of town.
Get out of town for a couple of days.
Let the dust settle.
And, I think it's a great idea. You guys got married in January. It's kind of cold here in Dallas, in the DFW Metroplex, in the state of Texas, honestly. I mean, it was snowing in Galveston, snowing in Houston, and so I imagine that you guys went somewhere to get away from the cold, right?
We did not. We went to Colorado, in which I can now say that I have been outside when it felt like it was negative 32 degrees outside.
What's wrong with you guys?
He did not anticipate it being that cold. When the week before the mini moon, it was, in the 30s, 40s, like real nice, there's still snow out if you go to the mountains, but if you're walking around, you're fine. Massive, massive cold front. And when we were talking to some of the Colorado natives that were in different shops, Coloradans, they were like, no, this is not normal. But yeah, there was Monday night we were watching the national championship from our little Airbnb because we didn't want to be out on the roads because we were way up in the mountains.
Sure.
And got to step outside in negative 32 degree temperatures.
And?
Brr.
Sucks, right?
It was not good.
It sucks.
I literally wore a ski suit around town just to walk because it was that cold outside.
I was very happy for our friends down in Houston and in College Station and all these places that never see snow.
Yeah.
Because here in the DFW Metroplex, here in North Texas,
you expect it once to twice a year.
Yeah. I think probably on average we get it once a year. There'll be a year where we won't get it, then there'll be a year we get it twice, but on average we get it about once a year.
Yeah.
Houston probably hasn't had snow in a long time.
Yeah.
I would presume.
It was crazy. The photos of Galveston too on the beach with it, and then there's New Orleans. Bourbon Street was covered in snow. I was like, we were just there. That's insane.
It was absolutely wild. But I'm very happy for our friends down there in South Texas who got to experience a little bit of the
snow day.
Yeah, have a snow day. That's cool. I'm anti-snow. I think I've gone on record. I think snow sucks.
But 1 weekend a year.
And especially if you haven't had it basically ever.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The fact that you get to say, oh, we're not going to school today because of a snow day. Everyone should experience that joy once.
Yeah, we did reach out, by the way. to Dr. Megan Vendemia, our friend from now the University of West Virginia, who told her to keep her head on a swivel for
fake.
But you know what? Here's a funny thing:
fake mom accounts
for fake mom accounts using her profile picture. But here's the thing: she's having a great week. You know why? She went to Ohio State.
Oh yeah, how about that? That's right.
I want to say she's
a Buckeye.
Ohioan originally.
I believe so.
I know she at least went to Ohio State. So congratulations to friend of the show. Probably the weirdest friendship we have.
But like not because of her, just because of her.
She's a passenger.
Yes.
On this whole thing.
She got drug against her will into this nonsense and has never been able to leave since.
Absolutely. Anyway, a lot to get to. Some football, some not. Hit the theme expo. From the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show with an extra spouse. My name is Greg Tupper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live, TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the places, or you listen to us the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is the Duchess of the Dorks. Wow,
did I get a title bump? Did I get a title bump?
No, because a duke is like a duchess is married to a duke.
That's fair.
Right? So I think it's not like a Mrs. or Miss. The Duchess of the Dorks, Mrs. 305. Now that's
gonna take a minute.
Mrs. 305, she is Mrs. Ashley Pickle-Spraggins. Hello. Mrs. Ashley Pickle-Spraggins.
Hello.
APS.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wait. Whose name do we put first?
I mean, legally, I'm about to be Ashley Spraggins.
Legally. But
TFT, I'm Ashley Pickle.
I want to be very clear. I'm calling you Pickle forever.
Oh, I would be upset if you didn't. Like,
Hank will call you Pickle until the day that he dies.
No, everyone should still call me Pickle. Yeah. The government will be the only ones that know me as that. So anyway, I have like an alias now.
Today.
Get away with crime.
Ooh, nice. Let's do crimes.
All
right. Today is Thursday, January 23rd, 2020. For a mere 308 days to Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to two of the loves of my life.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I mean this sincerely. Happy birthday to Tiffany Amber Thiessen. That's Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell.
Okay.
One of the hottest women
of all time.
And happy birthday to Mariska Hargitay.
Oh, let's go.
Olivia Benson from Law & Order SVU.
I watched an ungodly amount of SVU on the plane ride.
Let me tell you something.
They actually ran a commercial with all of the cast telling her happy birthday yesterday on USA Today.
Let me tell you something. She's 61 today. Fine wine.
Oh, she's a bad you-know-what.
Fine wine. You're ready to leave your husband. Like if
100%.
If Mariska Hargitay knocked on the door,
you're
like, peace out,
See
Brian.
ya.
Anyway, it's episode 1828. On today's show, folks, we got Math Tuesday.
Duh.
We are going to be breaking down the best first-year coaches in Texas high school football in 2024. A couple different measurements for that, which coaches came in and transformed their programs the best in 2024. We'll get into that. Then, This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our director of recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. I'll be sitting in this chair right here, talking all things recruiting across the Lone Star State. And then, back after the show, we will have the official Pickle Wedding Postgame show. We will take you through the ins and outs, the ups and downs, the cheers, the jeers, the tears of what happened at the
many mess ups by Brian and I during the ceremony.
At the wedding event of the season. the wedding event of the season here, as Ashley Pickle got married. We will talk about everything that happened there. We'll round it all out with mailbag final thoughts. So if you got questions, give them in the comments, Facebook and YouTube. So, Pot Right, do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was Braden Gibson, jersey number 69, TJ Hudson, and Ed McElroy. Welcome in, fellas.
Welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us, as today, of course, is Thursday, January 23rd here in the off season, and that means we are celebrating
Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
It's Math Tuesday. Here on Texas Football Today. Increasingly the most confusing segment on the internet.
If you don't get it, don't try. Just enjoy it. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy everything that's heading your way.
Somebody's like logging onto the internet and they're like, I've heard great things about this podcast, about Texas Football Today. Been going for like 9 years. It's the #1 show about football in the state of Texas. Like, might as well give them a try.
Then there's exploding houses and American flags on Math Tuesday, Thursday edition.
It's Math Tuesday. We're going to talk a little bit about coaching changes, because as you can go on TexasFootball.com, you will see that the coaching carousel is spinning wildly. In fact, Matt Stepp told us on Tep and Step yesterday that we are already on a record pace. There are close to, maybe even by now, up to 100 UIL 11-man coaching changes already. Okay? That's basically 1 out of every 12 jobs in the state.
That's insane.
Have changed. And it's only January 23rd. Okay? And by the way, things tend to pick up February and March. This is still the early days of coaching change season. And obviously, coaching changes happen across the state of Texas for a variety of different reasons. Guys want to go back home. Family situations change. They get a better opportunity. They, guys retire. A variety of different reasons. But in the end, you've got these guys stepping into new roles at new programs with the same charge, which is, hey, make this thing into a winner. Now, for some of these programs, that is a matter of simply maintaining the status quo, right? Mart has come open, for example. Whoever gets the job at Mart, their job will more or less to be hey, continue to be one of the very best programs in Texas high school football, right? But there are other programs where a coach has come in and his job is to more or less turn things around and make things better than they were and elevate that program, in many ways get them out of a ditch. And we've seen across the course of history, sometimes that process takes longer than other times. And sometimes coaches can do it in 1 year. Sometimes all it takes is a new voice in the room. Sometimes all it takes is one guy to come in and kind of put his stamp on this program and turn things around. And so what I want to do today on Math Tuesday is take a look at the coaching changes, the first-year coaches in 2024. That is guys who were in new jobs for the 2024 season. Now, some of these guys have obviously had jobs elsewhere.
Yes.
Right? The guys who move positions, but as far as a head coaching job is concerned, they are new to the head coaching chair at that school.
Yeah, it's not like it's just an offensive coordinator that finally got his shot as a head coach.
Right.
It's not that.
Right. And we'll get to a couple of those guys where it's obvious. One particular place that I think it's very interesting that you'll see that pays particular dividends to have that experience. But the first place I want to do, and I want to look at this in a variety of different ways and try to see which coaches were the most successful first-year coaches in Texas high school football. The easiest way, the simplest way to do this, is simply to look at the win column and to say, okay, what did the team do the year before you arrived, and what did the team do the year after you arrived? Right? Plain and simple. And the clear winner here is Wesley Rigdon. Wes Rigdon at Three-Way School, the Braves, he took over a program that was 0-9. And not just 0-9 in 2024, or 2023 rather. They were 0-9. I want to say they were on an 18-game losing streak I'm sorry. They were a grand total of 1-17 in the previous 18 games before he arrived. And all he did was take them to 9-2. A 9-win season, a 9-win improvement is the biggest win improvement in Texas high school football. Wes Rigdon, from that perspective, was the biggest improvement in Texas high school football. From an 11-man perspective, you've got a couple of guys who you've got 3 guys who increased their team's win total by 8 wins. One of them, Jared Jones at Joaquin. I talked about this on Tep and Step. I think that there is a real argument to be made that at what Jared Jones did at Joaquin is one of the most remarkable jobs in the state. He took over a program that was 2-7 at Joaquin and finishes the regular season at 6-4. And if they had gone into their bye district and finished 4th in district, made it in the playoffs, if they had gone into their bye district matchup with Centerville and lost in the first round to district champion Centerville, I think everyone in Joaquin would have been like, all right, you know what? Coach Jones turning things around. We went from 2-7 to 6-5. Not bad. Things are pointing in the right direction. All he did was run all the way to a state semifinal at 10-5 as a 4th place team. Remarkable what Jared Jones did. Same goes for Steven Jackson at West Mesquite. And by the way, I hate to give Matt Stepp credit, but he called this one. Mm-hmm. When he got that job, he left Seagoville to go to West Mesquite. And Matt Stepp earmarked that and said he's going to win big there in a hurry. And sure enough, he did, taking a 3-7 West Mesquite program and turning them into an 11-1 team. Pretty remarkable. The same goes for Dusty Ortiz. When Dusty Ortiz left Odessa to take the job at Carrollton Creekview, I think there were a fair number of us who were like, well, okay, I guess he just really wants to get to the DFW Metroplex. Well, talk about a ball coaching dude. He takes a winless Carrollton Creekview team and gets them to 8-3 in the playoffs. Pretty remarkable. 3 other guys improved their. You had Wade Lawson at Wascom, did a fantastic job. Took a 3-7 Wascom team, took them to 10-3. Sam Parker, ball coaching dude, took over at Canyon Lake, a 2-8 team, took them to 8-4. And then Rickland Holmes left Tyler High, went to Fort Worth Chisholm Trail, a 1-9 Chisholm Trail team. They ended up going 7-4 in his first year. So from a win total perspective, if you just want to measure it that way, that would be the teams that were the coaches who probably had the best first year improvement in Texas high school football. Okay, but I want to dig a little bit deeper, and because obviously there were win totals ultimately, as a famous man once said, you are what your record says you are. But I want to dig a little bit deeper. And I want to talk about the offensive side and the defensive side and which teams saw the most improvement on different sides of the ball. And I found this to be a particularly interesting split. We'll take a look at the offense, okay? So the biggest offensive improvement, we're taking a look at points per game average, okay? The winner here is Steven Jackson at West Mesquite, okay? He took over a program at West Mesquite that was averaging a little more than 14 points a game, and they averaged 41.3 points a game. I mean, you're taking an offense that was pretty poor and taking them to like borderline elite. If you're averaging more than 40 points a game, you're doing something right.
You can score.
You can score. They scored. I mean, think about that. That is scoring 4 more touchdowns per game. Mm-hmm. Okay. Bill Cowley at Hawkins took the Hawks from 22.7 to 46.8 points per game. You're going to look at what Earl Westbrooks did at Houston Sharpstown, and you're going to say, yeah, they only scored 21 points per game. Yeah, but he took over an offense that averaged 1.5 points a game. Okay? He took one of the very worst offenses in all of Texas high school football, and he got them to respectable levels. That is a remarkable job, right? Efren Ramos at La Mesa did fantastic work there, turning that around. El Paso Irvin got a huge boost from Coach Jonathan Elliott, an improvement of 18 points per game. Same goes what Matthew Woodard did at Rio Vista, going from 14 points a game to 32 points a game. Again, you're going from 14 points a game. You can't win ball games consistently at 14 points a game. 32 points a game, you're in every ball game. Plain and simple. And then Dusty Ortiz, we mentioned him. What he did at Carrollton Creekview happened there. What I think is really interesting about this list is that you've got a fair number of coaches who have been coaches before, as well as younger guys getting their first shot at coaching jobs. I want you to contrast that with the next graphic, which is the biggest defensive improvement of Texas high school football coaches. for first-year coaches. Okay? Rickland Holmes takes the top spot. Okay? Took over a Chisholm Trail defense that gave up 48 points a game down to 22. A 26-point per game improvement. Steven Jackson at West Mesquite. Dusty Ortiz, there he is again. Sam Parker at Canyon Lake. Jason Garrett did a fantastic job at Dallas Roosevelt. Not talked about enough. Did a terrific job. Chad Worrell at Pilot Point. Alan Hare at Gerald. All their teams, they have between 19 and 26 points per game. They shaved off their points allowed per game average. Here is what, to me, is most remarkable. I believe with the exception, I want to make sure I get this right. I believe with the exception of Jason Garrett. By the way, it's not that Jason Garrett.
Yeah, I was like, it's not the Jason Garrett you're thinking of.
Let me be very clear. It's
now, Jason Witten is, but not Jason Garrett.
So with the exception of Jason Garrett at Dallas Roosevelt, every one of those guys was a head coach somewhere else. Okay? Rickland Holmes, Steven Jackson, Dusty Ortiz, Sam Parker, Chad Worrell, Alan Hare. Some of them veteran coaches. Chad Worrell is a state champion head coach. Alan Hare has coached at the very highest levels, right? Rickland Holmes has had great teams at Tyler High. Sam Parker did terrific things. I think this is really interesting. That if you want to, because you hear offense wins games, defense wins championships. If you want to see that improvement on the defensive side, generally speaking, you go to more veteran coaches. Mm-hmm. You go to guys who have been those culture builders. And I wonder if there's something there. This is me speculating here, but I wonder if there's something to the idea of it is, I don't want to say easier, but for new coaches who are just now, getting their first head coaching job, I think changing the culture around offense may be a easier lift than changing the culture around defense. Mm-hmm. And you've got veteran guys, veteran coaches who instilled a defensive mindset here that I wonder if there is something to be said about having those guys who have been head coaches before that allow you to improve the defense in a single year. Because these guys, you're talking about shaving 3 to 4 touchdowns per game off of your defensive average. That's crazy. That is a program shifting move. Look at, plain and simple, look at what Dusty Ortiz did at Carrollton Creekview.
Yep.
Okay? They were giving up 47 points a game. You cannot win like that. Mm-mm. Plain and simple. But 24 points a game? Yeah, you're in every ball game. You can win every game with 24 points per game. It was really, really interesting to dive into these numbers. Who was the best first-year coach in Texas high school football? I would probably look at somebody like Steven Jackson or Dusty Ortiz. I think those would be on the short list. I think Sam Parker at Canyon Lake gets that nod as well, because these are guys who appeared on every one of these lists. Rickland Holmes at Chisholm Trail as well. But there were a lot of really good first-year coaching jobs there, some of which show up in the numbers right here. But an interesting look at which teams had the biggest turnaround under a first-year head coach. And by the way, we get to do this again next year, because the carousel is spinning with some big openings there across the state of Texas. So we will have you covered for every coaching change at texasfootball.com. And that is Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
We're at Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on texasfootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Hope you'll consider going to texasfootball.com/subscribe to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. Get the 2025 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine that I need to start thinking about. Get it mailed to you before it hits newsstands. But before all that, you can watch live Texas high school events on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
A lot of basketball going on.
A lot of basketball. Big basketball season right now. A lot of basketball going on Texan Live as part of your Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscription. Makes a great gift. If you want to get Pickle a wedding gift,
yeah, subscribe.
texasfootball.com/subscribe. Don't send. She gets a free subscription because she works here. But so don't subscribe to her, but subscribe on her behalf.
I see it. I see enough of what we do.
Yeah, I was going to say. Anyway, coming up here in just a moment, Greg Powers will join me for a little bit of Cruton talk and a little bit of wedding post-game show. But first, a word from these valued partners.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well, Texas. We're glad you're here.
30-yard line, the 20, the 10. Touchdown!
Hey DFW residents, get your grocery essentials in minutes, not hours or days, with Wing Drone Delivery. Forget about last-minute trips to the store when you need things like cereal for breakfast before school, medicine for a cold, or snacks for a movie night. Wing's drones get you quick, no-contact delivery in as fast as 15 minutes. Say goodbye to last-minute grocery runs and say hello to more of your valuable time. Sign up today.
Texas coaches, Coach Brackle here from First Down Playbook. After 25 years as a Texas high school football coach, I understand the time, energy, and commitment it takes to compete at your level. First Down Playbook was created by coaches for coaches to help you vertically line your total program. 1 week free team membership for all Texas high school and college coaches. Let First Down Playbook help give you that winning edge.
Back here on Texas Football Today, I'm Greg, that's Ashley. We are pleased to be joined by the Director of Recruiting at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. It's Greg Powers.
Greg.
What's up, Ashley?
Hello.
I'm Greg.
And Greg.
We don't need to
welcome
and
back,
Greg.
Ashley.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, bud.
What's up?
Doing all right?
Yeah, great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to talk a little
It's
recruiting?
Cruton season. Is it always Cruton season?
Kind of is. I know it's always time for this. I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. This is This Week.
And Cruton.
It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScouts. He has fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And, of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express.
Probably should have catered the wedding.
We'll get to the food at your wedding.
I didn't think about it till now.
Which was great.
But not ideal.
We're not going to let good be the enemy of perfect.
That's fair.
Okay?
I'm sorry I let you down, Powers.
You did not let me down. I gotta say, I love Chicken Express, but you didn't let me down.
Yeah. Okay, good. That makes me feel better.
If you had come around, maybe instead of the ice cream at the end, if they had done Chicken Express.
That's fair. Late night tendies.
She doesn't even know what I pulled off, and I finessed through the food line. Tepper does know because he was there. But
what a king!
Our friends at Chicken Express, they motivate me. Not only once per lifetime like Ashley's wedding did, they motivate me weekly.
Yeah.
Almost daily.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They do. When every time I drive by that yellow sign with the flying chicken, I'm like, I want to fly as high as that chicken today.
It makes me smile every time I see one of their semi-truck trailers on the road too. Mm-hmm. I don't know, because I just think about all the joy that they're dropping off and all these
Santa.
Chicken Expresses across the state.
They could have Christmas every day. Chicken Express, it's Christmas every day. This Week in Recruiting, Greg Powers. Let's start with our prospect on the rise. Let's go to the Panhandle. Talk about Amarillo Tascosa defensive tackle Crush Johnson.
Talk about a defensive tackle name.
Instantly wins name
Hell
of the
yeah,
year.
brother. Defensive tackle, soon to be a senior, 6'4", 275. Pulled the trigger this week, committed to Texas Tech after picking up an offer at junior day. That's all they needed to see. Relatively local guy up there in the Panhandle. Amarillo and Lubbock are not close to one another, but relatively speaking, Texas Tech closes the deal on a rising talent there in the Panhandle.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And first off, I want to give credit to Amarillo Tascosa's coaching staff because they are one of the programs I feel like truly in this state that produces an elite amount of under-the-radar talent. Mm-hmm. it seems like every year Tascosa has one of these guys who basically just comes out of nowhere to become a P4 guy and get recruited by everybody. And I watched Crush Johnson's tape after he committed to Texas Tech, and I was like, yeah, the Red Raiders got themselves one here. Not only does he have a cool name, his tape is very electric, I would say. I mean, I usually don't use that word to describe a defensive tackle, but he's fun to he's like just flat out fun to watch on tape. He's got 2 offers now, UTEP and Texas Tech. Texas Tech offered him at junior day. He took about 3 days to accept that offer. Fell in love with the coaching staff, the facilities, and everything that Lubbock had. But I think he's a guy that could get 15 offers. I mean, more people are going to offer him in the spring as they come through Tascosa. They don't build 6'4", 275-pounders that move like this guy.
Yeah, and he's just like suplexing kids.
Yeah, it's just like a fun highlight. It's just like a fun highlight.
Yeah, it is.
Like
his name is Crush.
Yeah, and his name's Crush with a K.
Yeah, from an interior a defensive line too. Like these are like this is edge rusher tape coming from a guy playing like a 3-tech. You know what I mean? And that's not something, that explosiveness I think is probably what drew Texas Tech to be like, yeah, okay, you're with us.
Sometimes I watch his tape and I say, oh, he plays a little bit high at times, but the times that he's playing high, he's just annihilating somebody. Yeah. It's just like running past the offensive lineman to crush somebody. Well, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
Crush someone in the backfield.
Crush Johnson, from Amarillo, Tascosa, the latest Texas Tech commit. He's not our commit of the week, though. Our commit of the week. Go to Yoakum. Talk about their soon-to-be senior wide receiver. Or no, he is a senior wide receiver.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. We're in that weird in-between time. 2025, right?
He's played his junior football season
so
already, so we've locked him in.
He's a 2026 kid. I got to start doing the classes. 2026, Xavier Barnett this week. Committed this week to SMU. Had offers from places like Houston, Mississippi State, and UTSA, but it is the Ponies who get the services of Xavier Barnett, the Yoakum star, the latest in a long line of outstanding playmakers there from DeWitt County, and a big-time playmaker there for the Bulldogs, and figures to be a big-time playmaker there for the Ponies.
Yeah, SMU got another 4-star addition into this class. Xavier Barnett is a guy at 6'1", 190 pounds, is a true field stretcher. I think that he had a remarkable season on the field this year, going over 1,000 yards. Proves that he's an elite ball winner over the top. We got a chance to look at him in person at the state 7-on-7 event. By and large, anybody who went through and watched Yoakum was very impressed with the abilities that he's bringing to the table. He's been a 4-star for a while, and I'll give credit to Hudson Standish over at 24/7 Sports, who kind of was the first guy to really know about Barnett and kind of put us on him in a way. He was pretty spot on with his evaluation of Barnett, that he has all of these qualities that P4 schools are going to find intriguing. I still think that, like Crush, he's a kid, even though he's rated as a 4-star, is going to have more schools in hot pursuit of him. Especially in that district. Now, that was a loaded district. I think when you watch it, you look at the level and you say, oh, it's not. Well, there was 6A talent in that district at Columbus, Hitchcock. Yoakum's loaded up. That whole district is just full of dudes. So he's battle tested too, and I love that about what he's bringing to the table.
Xavier Barnett pulls the trigger, commits to SMU. It's a big get there for Rhett Lashley and the Ponies. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. Let's round it all out with our underclassmen of the week. Our underclassmen of the week, back to the DFW Metroplex to talk, go to Saginaw area, to Brewer, they're 2027. I'm just going to start saying the class. Cornerback Jerry Outhouse Jr. this week picked up a flurry of new offers. Places like North Texas, Arizona State, Tulane, SFA. He already had offers from Ole Miss and South Carolina. It is fair to say the secret is out on Jerry Outhouse Jr.
Yeah, I really like his ability as a lockdown guy. I know in today's college football, you have to be versatile. You have to be able to play corner, nickel, safety. You have to kind of be able to do it all. Find out what spot maybe fits you best sometimes once you get into the college program. But he has island skills to me, and his stats kind of back it up. He's a guy who's always active, always around the football. 13 PBUs last year, which is pretty impressive, but this is even more impressive, 6 INTs. So he makes plays, and I really like that about Outhouse, and the secret, like you said, is out. He's got some good offers to his credit. He's going to get more. He's right now starting to take off. So don't be surprised in a week from now he's got 5 more and he's a double-digit offer guy.
Yeah, he is a guy that, now just entering his junior season is going to get more and more tape out there. But the tape he's put out there as a sophomore is obviously good enough for these programs to act on, which is saying something, especially at a place like corner, where it does feel like, look, I think you hear underclassmen corner and a lot of offensive coordinators start licking their chops. They're like, all right, we're going to pick on this guy. It's a bad idea if the guy out there is Jerry Outhouse Jr.
Yeah, especially if he could put up the numbers that he puts up, because 13 PBUs and 6 INTs, how many more times than 20 times do you think he got thrown on this season?
Yeah.
If they threw on him 40 times, they threw on him way too much.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be throwing on him that much. But
Yeah. I got to be honest, like his numbers, he's one of those guys like his numbers may end up suffering now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he only had 3 pass breakups. Yeah, because they only threw at him 15 times all year. You know what I mean?
one of his first offers was Ole Miss, and I got to think that that's a, Coach Mann, who was at Ole Miss, is now at Texas A&M. I got to think that was like him finding some of the top guys. And now as I'm going back through and watching some of these Ole Miss offers for guys like Outhouse or Isaiah Lee at Lancaster, some of these guys at Ole Miss was on first are now starting to parlay that attention into bigger attention and starting to get more offers. So credit to Coach Mann, who was doing a pretty good job at Ole Miss, and I'm excited to see what he does at A&M moving forward.
Most certainly. A guy we're always excited to see what happens going forward is Greg Powers, our director of recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersCouch. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. Powers, thank you.
Oh,
Watch me
welcome.
transition to the next segment.
All right, I'm watching.
We're Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com. Okay, don't stare at me.
You said why.
Talking football at the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. A lot of great stuff up on TexasFootball.com right now on the college side. Terrific stuff up there. I hope you'll go check out all the stuff that we got cooking on the college side, as well as a really cool feature coming out here to tease tomorrow morning from our own Carter Yates about one of the all-time most memorable 6-man football stars and where he's at now. So there's a tease for TexasFootball.com tomorrow. One last thing to do on today's program, and that is to talk a little bit about last weekend, because last weekend was a big weekend for the Dave Campbell's Texas football family, and specifically for one member of the Dave Campbell's Texas football family, and that is Ashley Pickle. Ashley Pickle.
VNA's got a big weekend coming up this weekend.
That's very true. Ashley Pickle last Saturday became legally Ashley Spraggins. Got married, and a lot of the Dave Campbell's Texas, at least the DFW branch, descended upon the venue. I'm very interested in getting the 3 perspectives here, because we all have different perspectives. We have the bride.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious how my perspective differs from yours, but I'm ready.
Well, I was like semi-involved in the wedding.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I get one more perspective here that
Sure.
really wanted to hop on and just say a quick comment?
Yeah, let's go live to the hotline. Do you read me? Mr. Pickle, how are you, my friend? Yeah, I was going to say. Brian Spraggins, the now husband of Ashley Pickle. I guess, Brian, while we've got you, thank you for joining us. I want to hear how you feel like the wedding went.
Can y'all hear him?
No.
I lost him.
Oh, no. See, this is
He
the
always
problem.
causes audio issues.
Yeah, I'm telling you. This guy.
All right. You got us, B? Nope. All right. Y'all keep talking. I'll see if I can get him out one more
I
time.
might have heard something barely
Yeah, I
there
know.
at the end, but
Okay. So you were a guest. You and your lovely wife were there. I was there as the officiant. Here's the highest compliment that I can pay to Ashley and Brian, because I know that they did a lot of work to put this wedding together and stuff, is that I know that my wife and I got married 12 years ago. It'll be 13 in
better
July.
know.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. We're going to get Brian Spraggins back on. And people still tell us that our wedding was really fun. The Pickle-Spraggins wedding was really fun.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I feel like that's the kind of wedding we're going to be talking about. I'd be like, that was a really fun
You know
wedding.
what?
Let's try him one more time. If we don't got him, then we don't got him.
Spraggins, do you read us? Okay. Turn him up.
I am trying. It's not going.
Oh my god.
We can hear him good enough,
Okay.
I think.
Spraggins, how would you assess how well your wedding went? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get to that here in a second. And so overall, I guess, how would you judge the dancing by the Dave Campbell's Texas football crew afterwards? That's probably the biggest question. Okay, excellent. Brian Spraggins, thank you very much. Thanks for your courage. We appreciate you hopping on with us, buddy. All right, there he goes, Brian Spraggins, the groom. Trying to get him on board. Jeez.
Well, we've started to uncover something.
Okay. Yeah.
What was the mess up?
Okay. So
you
we
can't
get up
tease
there.
us on a mess up.
So there's all the rigmarole that goes into the wedding, and I get up there to officiate and do my spiel, stuff like that, and then it gets to the part of the consent. That's the I do's. Okay. To you, Brian, to take.
Yeah, the important part.
The important part, right? The I do's. And everyone's seen a movie and a wedding on television, right? Mm-hmm. Do you take you to be your lawfully wedded wife from this day forward, blah, 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 a lot of flowery language. It's never one sentence, right? It's never once been one sentence. When I tell you that the moment that I had like a pause, just to like, feel the gravity of the moment, Brian jumps in and goes, I do. I do.
It was literally the first pause.
It was like
the first pause.
Like, literally, I think like it's on tape somewhere. Do you, Brian, take Ashley to be your wedded wife? Right then he goes, I do. I'm like, bro, you gotta like chill out.
Say the vows first.
Yeah, we gotta get
the vows.
Let us get through everything here. We gotta talk these things through.
It made me feel good because it felt like he actually really wanted to marry me in that moment.
Yeah, he did. Ashley, how do you feel like the ceremony went? I know it's all kind of a blur for you.
Yeah, I think I blacked out. No, it was great. I don't like to give you credit, but you did a really good job. It was funny. There were a lot of laughs. I also messed up equally as bad in the ceremony. I completely forgot. After you pronounced us husband and wife, we kissed. We turned around to go, and well, I guess we turned around and you announced us, and so we went to walk. I totally forgot to grab my bouquet from Mallory.
Yeah.
So Mallory's standing behind me,
hollering at you.
The next bridesmaid, Aspen, has two bouquets. She has Mallory's and hers. Mallory has the bridal bouquet, and I just start taking off, and everyone's going, Ashley. I didn't even realize it, and so anyway,
we're like screaming at you.
This is like behind the scenes though, because I didn't know what.
Yeah.
I knew that there was something that she was saying, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, no, I completely forgot my bouquet.
I didn't know that.
The funny thing about it is that I feel like, because like you're like your folks came up to me afterwards and said like I did a great job and stuff officiating, which meant a lot. To be like in all sincerity, like I really want to do well because I love your family. Your family's so, like I love them to death. And I want to do right by you, and I want to do right by Brian and by your family. But like the way that your parents came up to me and said I did a great job, there was like surprise in their voice, and they were like, "You did a great job! Like, wow,
he did it!"
Like I'm like, well, what did you expect? Like it was gonna be like I was gonna get up there and just roast her, which there was a 5% chance I was just gonna get up there and roast you.
Yeah, I was fully prepared for that.
No, the only people I roasted were your dad and Jake.
Yeah,
which respect. Okay, but go ahead.
It was just a good wedding. The ceremony was snappy, and
it was snappy.
I think
Came
that's
in a little under 11 minutes.
Snappy in multiple ways, then too. You know what I mean? Snappy for the time, snappy for how it went, made it enjoyable. And look, Pickle, the spread was pretty.
Okay, so let's
the spread was pretty good.
So there's two. Before we get to that, Pickle, let's talk about photos. Because then you guys go, and so everybody goes to cocktail hour. And while the wedding party does photos. And Pickle had a beautiful dress. Pickle looked beautiful on her wedding day.
Thank you.
You can put the picture back up if you want.
Yeah.
Pickle looked beautiful on her wedding day. And that is a dress that, like, that's the dress your mom wore?
Yeah, the dress itself is 45 years old. So my aunt on my dad's side bought it in 1981. My other aunt on my dad's side wore it in 89, and then my mom was the last person to wear it in 94. They just celebrated their 30th anniversary, so all three marriages are still together, which is really, really cool. But yeah, a ton of history behind that dress. Didn't even know they still had it. My aunt just threw it out there as like a, hey, if you want to try it on. So super, super excited that it worked out.
Super cool. You looked beautiful. But one of the things about that dress, and I think most wedding dresses, not exactly built for warmth.
No.
And so your wedding was outside, and during the ceremony, you've got adrenaline going, and
honestly, the wind stopped during the ceremony, so it was nice out there.
And there were enough people in the venue there that it was probably it was warmish. I didn't notice the cold while I was sitting there. Did you notice the cold while you were sitting there?
Not during the ceremony.
Not during the ceremony. But then you guys went out for photos. And photos, if you haven't been to a wedding in a hot minute, they take a minute.
Take a long time.
Pickle, how would you assess your photo taking experience?
It was miserable. I was miserable. I hated everything. I wanted it to be over so bad.
Okay.
And then we got to the reception and it was great. But yeah, we were right along that water. The wind had really started to pick up. And when I tell you that there were grown men in like 3-piece tuxes behind me, like complaining that it was cold, I probably looked like the biggest B word on the face of this planet because I was like, I don't want to hear any of you complain right now.
The other thing, and I'm very excited because literally the last photo you took, I don't know if you remember this.
Yes.
It's me and and
Yes.
Brian. Literally the last one is like the officiant. Okay?
Yeah. We were like,
You just
get
let's get a
over
photo of the
here.
officiant. You're like, this is going to be, I swear, I think that photo is going to be the most gritted teeth photo.
Yes.
You're like, take the stupid photo.
My hand was shaking. Like in some of the photos, especially that one like in front of the sun, I was supposed to have like my hand up on him, and the photographer's like, you need to go inside and get warm for a second. So we had to take a break during photos.
So then the cocktail hour wraps up. You guys had a nice time at cocktail hour. Let's get to the reception. Let's get to the main event. And so you said all the Dave Campbell's folks together. All Dave Campbell's. Our wives are now thick as thieves, which our wives had a great time today.
Yeah, we did a good job there, I think.
Yeah.
Y'all's wives were so fun.
They were having a good time. I want to go to Greg Powers for the official review of the spread because let's be real. That's what we all came for here.
Well, I've explained this now to people who weren't at the event, so I'm just going to go ahead and break down the spread. I thought it was a very man-forward serving.
100%.
Which I appreciated wholeheartedly.
Man forward.
Yeah, it absolutely was.
Which I appreciate wholeheartedly. It was barbecue, but the brisket slapped. Like it was good, tender, tasty. Like it was well cooked. And I was able, they want to give you one slice of brisket. I was like, oh yeah, I'll have some brisket. I'll have some turkey. I'll have some sausage. They said which kind. I said both. And
I was behind him, and it was like watching Picasso.
They said which sausage? I said both.
So we got to the brisket slicing station, and they had cut the burnt ends off. Yeah. Right? They're not serving the burnt ends. They're only serving the prime pieces, right?
And to be clear, you and I were on like table 13 of like 15 or something like
Probably.
that. And so like it's late in the game. Like we aren't the first ones through. It's late in the game.
There's a good stack of burnt ends. And she was like, hey, would you like a slice of brisket? And I was like, you know it. And she gave me the slice of brisket, and I was like, and I love burnt ends. She gave me the giantest.
Oh, let's go. I had no idea.
She gave me
Dude.
I'm telling you, like it was like an eighth of a brisket.
And it's so good because the beans, beans are burn-in beans. So those were all mixed in the beans too.
So
That rocks.
Tepper was right next to me, so he was able to be next to someone that was getting the burn-in. So then he also got
that rocks
I am
so
nothing
hard.
If I am nothing, if not just an admirer of Greg Powers, and I'll just be like, I'll have what he's having.
So peeling back the curtain here, we also had appetizers passed out at cocktail hour, which I didn't get to try because I was taking miserable photos. But when we went...
Okay, happy wedding to Brian.
When we went to the restaurant to do the sampler platter, I saw on the menu that one of the appetizer choices were bacon bombs. I didn't know what was in it. I didn't know what it consisted of. And I looked Brian in the eye and I said, we're getting those. And he was like, do you want to try them first? I said, no. Powers is going to want a bacon bomb. I don't know what it is, but we're going to get Powers some bacon bombs.
Well, in all fairness, I'm not going to be able to tell you what it is because the bacon bombs just went down.
Way too easy.
No, they just went down whole. Like you didn't take a bite of it. It was just it was a one bite thing. But I believe it was bacon, and on the inside of the jalapeno was cheddar cheese.
I was thinking a lot about Powers when it came to choosing the wedding food. 100% honest.
And I think
everybody should.
I think you'll agree with me. I think you'll agree with me. I want to commend and honor Ashley Pickle for her courage to have barbecue when she's wearing a wedding dress.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That was
really impressive stuff.
It was. I was focused. I literally sat down and I was like, luckily we had big bright letters that spelt out Spraggins in front of the dance floor, which was perfect because it created a barrier in between people walking on the dance floor and the sweetheart table that we were at. And I looked at Brian and I was like, no one's talking to us. Like, we have to lock in,
Yep.
okay?
You
Like, we have
lock in.
got to lock in right now.
Okay, so then dinner happens. The speeches happen. I thought Mallory gave a great speech. I think I think you guys went 4 for 4.
Yeah, everyone did a really good job making a speech.
All the speeches were excellent.
I was really proud of my dad.
Your dad
I
was
told him that he was
spectacular.
going to be on a time limit, and I actually pulled out a timer
LP
for
was
him.
LP was
only barely
LP was
went over.
excellent. He should have gone for 15 minutes.
He did a great job. I was proud.
I give you the Forbes, sir, to finish up all your comments here on Texas Football Today. But Mallory did a great job. Gabe was the best man. He did a great job as well. So then it gets to the dancing portion of it. And you got DJ Question Mark from
North Texas. Yeah. Crushed it.
He was terrific. It was so funny to see like all of our coworkers like all dressed up. That was really interesting, and all there with their spouses and significant others and stuff like that. And getting down, there does come a point, I will tell you, when you realize that you are an early part of a wedding person instead of a late part of a wedding person, because DJs, I don't think I'm giving anything away. You start off with music that's going to get everyone dancing.
Yes.
Right?
You want grandma and grandpa on the dance floor.
You start off with the YMCA, right? You start off with
Cupid Shuffle.
The Cupid Shuffle. Things that everybody likes. Before you get into NLE Choppa. You know what I mean?
Right.
You weed them out. And it got to a point, like, this was the wedding where my wife and I were like, ooh, we're front half of the wedding people. Like, dance. This was the wedding where we felt old. It was
Y'all stuck it out the whole time, though.
We did. We stayed till the end. You guys stayed till the end too.
Well, we dipped. I'll be honest. That was us running down the driveway to get to the Uber during the wedding exit.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So we were able to see it from a distance.
It was a terrific time. I thought the dance floor was full, which is usually the charge of the maid of honor and the best man. And I thought they did a great job.
They did a great job. Yeah, they did a really good job.
Are you pleased with how the wedding went?
Oh yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I had a blast. I feel like I got a lot of compliments about the food and a lot of compliments about the ice cream. We did not do a traditional wedding cake. I don't like sweets, and Brian would leave me for ice cream. So we did a soft serve ice cream bar, and a lot of people seem to really like that.
I enjoyed it.
Carter Yates messed up the ice cream bar.
Two people who enjoyed it sitting right here.
I emptied that bowl all the way out. But I would give it I'm telling you, Pickle, I think I gave it the highest compliment that you can give a wedding, is that I would go back maybe once a month
to do that wedding.
To do it again.
I would
that
too.
rocks.
It was a great wedding.
Thank you. It was really fun, and that's for anyone who hasn't gotten married yet, having like everybody that you love under one building. Cool part.
It was very cool. I know you had a lot of family there. Brian had a lot of family. There was a packed house.
Yeah.
Very, very cool there. And yeah. Okay. Who was the people? Because they did like the reverse thing.
Oh, the anniversary dance.
Anniversary dance. Who were the last people on there?
That was my granny and pappy.
Your granny and pappy.
Yeah,
that's super cool.
Yeah, so if you've never seen an anniversary dance, basically we did it in reverse, and so the DJ he said, okay, if you've been married for 5 hours, come out there. If you've been married for 1 year, 5 years, and the people just keep coming onto the dance floor. So yeah, my grandparents will be celebrating their 55th wedding anniversary this year. So really, really cool. But they were the last ones out there, and Granny and Pappy were still busting a move. They still got it.
They're getting down. They're getting down. Greg Powers is getting down too.
Yeah, the next
Powers always
wedding-
gets down.
The next wedding I go to, I might be the oldest married couple there.
There you go.
You never know.
Me too, man. Might be. It was a terrific. It was, and I just, this is me. Like, you know, Ashley, like, you're such an integral part of the Dave Campbell's Texas football family, and I'm just glad that, like, obviously the Pickle family being there was important, and the Spraggins family being there important. I just feel grateful that you included your Dave Campbell's Texas football family as well. Like, we love you, and we're so happy for you and Brian, and we just I think I speak on behalf of everybody that we just appreciate you letting us share in your special day as well. So,
Well, I can't say anything or I'll start crying again
Okay.
for the 17th time. So love y'all too.
we will stop. That's gonna do it
And
for us.
some of us went for free. I was doing an officiant joke.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Sorry, officiant jokes just must fall flat on live air.
Right,
My
yeah,
bad.
It's fine.
That was
That's why
fantastic.
you leave that to me, okay?
Gotcha.
Don't you? Hey, don't you start
My
stepping
bad.
into my territory.
My bad. I should never have tried.
Let's go over to Ashley Spraggins for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts. If anybody's got any questions or comments.
Yeah. How do you think Todd Dodge did on his second year at Lovejoy?
Yeah, I think he did terrific. I mean, obviously, it
was his first year at
First year. Yep.
First year. I thought he did terrific. He took over a program. The reason when we did our like most improved programs, one of the issues with doing that thing is like you have to take over a program that's kind of in dire straits.
Right.
And so, like, West Mesquite was in a bad way when Steven Jackson took it. That's not to take anything away from him. Todd Dodge took over a program that was probably not living up to the expectations that they wanted it to live up to, and he elevated them for certain.
I don't think the team was as good this year as it had been in recent years past, and they performed as well or better than they had in recent years past. I do like the way that the offense is shaping up with Jacob Janasek underneath the center. I think that Coach Dodge has done a tremendous job of developing quarterbacks, and now that he's been a year in that system, because his fingerprints are all over that program. The defense is already playing like a Todd Dodge defense. So I think offense clicks up next year. I mean, they're a contender.
Absolutely. I think you're exactly right. Anything else?
Nope, that'll do it.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. For Greg Powers and Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please be your Player of the Year trophy. We will see you Monday on Texas Football Today.